Got him lost on the road. I'm swerving on the road. Lost on the road. Celebrities are just as lost. Celebrities are lost. Full of insecurities. They only look like they've healed. But if you've chosen, you get no spiritual journey. That was signed away when you gave up your mind. And even if because I noticed this is weird thing. So even if we don't go into like spookism and all the heebie jeebies and the mumbo jumbos, even if you just have like a just because they have like celebrities have like a PR team and things like that. Even if we keep it that simple, right? Or even if like we go into like you just having to sign something, you got advertisements and different sponsors and things like that. Like there's simply certain things you can't do. And so no matter what the situation is, you kind of like don't have a life. You know what I'm saying? Like I get that you think that, you know what I'm saying, that just because, you have the money and this and the third, that you have like a life. But you kind of don't. And I want to say I'm mainly talking about, of course, like top tier A-list people and things like that, because people look up to them so greatly and want to like be them and do things like they do. And I'm not too sure how like aware they are that these people are just as lost as them, And so like I wrote, yeah, so it's like you gave all that up, you know what I mean? Like you think that they've healed, they look like they've healed because you go through the process of so like what's crazy is like I've noticed going on this little thing where I'm doing a lot of research and kind of waking myself up and whatnot. I've noticed like there's little stints and milestones and little things and waves and little points here and there where I have to be aware of this and things like that. I'm just catching things, certain shifts and vibes and whatnot, right? Well, I've noticed like when you become a celebrity, you don't really have to like, you don't really have to think about really anything. I like being in the military. I feel like is the closest thing I could say, where it's like I can really do like whatever, and there's not really no consequences, even though they're, what I'm saying. Like I felt the most protected, even though it was of course and is like this false illusion of protection because I mean military, the government ain't protecting you like that. Like you can die any day, anything can happen to you. the best thing you have is maybe like, you know, some type of insurance, life insurance, things like that. Like they'll have you hooked up for that, you know what I'm saying? Like you'll be good on that front. But outside of that, it's like a false sense of security because, you know what I'm saying, it's not safe. I'm not safe, but you know, under that guise that I am, you know, I'm protected because, you know, I have the money is what I mean. You know, I have, you know, all the medical whatever's, you know, I'm lock, stock, and barreled up. I'm ready to, you know, be shipped out. Like, you know, I'm good on all fronts. And so I don't have to think about much of anything. Like I know money's gonna come to me every week or 2 weeks or, you know, things like that. Like I know I'm gonna get, you know, whatever benefits that I need. It's gonna come along and I know it. I don't have to like stress necessarily. I have way more things in this life to stress about, right? But the thing was, like I spoke about before in one of these videos, is that like when I get out, once that false sense is lifted, you truly know like that you've been taken care of, even though you feel like you're an adult. You know, you got your life together, things like that. Like you feel like, you know, you're a man, you're a woman, you're an adult, like you got your life together. Until you get out and you realize that you don't have your life together and people have been taking care of you. Like you don't know nothing and people have been taking care of you. No matter what you want to believe, no matter what you want to believe it, you know what I'm saying? So I know this is the same thing when it comes to celebrities, is that these people, you know, have this false sense of security. The people that are handling them, the PR teams, and all these people that take care of them, all the contracts they sign, all the people that give them donations and support and sponsor and all this stuff. You know, it makes them feel as if though it's like this wonderful safety net, right? That they have for themselves, so they don't have to trip. You know, as long as they continue to do their job, do what they need to do, and keep the agenda up, whatever they, you know, they signed up for, then, you know, they're golden. But what's scary is, and why I bring all this up is that we as a society look up to these people, especially like I know for a fact that I thought, you know, that I'm not that starstruck. This and like I know, you know, it's died down even more so. But I thought, you know what I'm saying, I'm not like that. But then I still think, like, dude, I'm still wondering what these people are doing and the news and the gossip and the tea and all this stuff, right? Like, I still want to know about them and stuff, like what's going on. But like I said, what's scary is that these people are living a lie. They're living falsehoods. They're worshiping false idols. They want to be false idols. You know, they want you to worship them as false idols and things like this. And also what I see is what I mean by that is like they signed a contract, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And they give up pretty much all their rights and all that stuff, and you know they live a good life, and that's what's up. The issue is like I said, is they don't have a life anymore to really live though, because somebody's gonna make it up, somebody's gonna make their mind up, somebody's gonna make their day up for them. They don't have to think to make up real results, like real emotions, and they have to where they have to like fake it and act like they're this and the third. They have to make up like false situations and things to like, oh look, I'm going through this dramatic situation that I could really be going through and have this real embarrassment, but I'm too afraid to actually live this life. That's why I decided to sell my soul, which means I decided to give another person the opportunity to take my mind and do as they please with it, mind, body, and soul. I can say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing with this life. I was too afraid to do something about it. Take care of this for me. Do something, please. I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid of life. I'm too afraid to be. I'm too afraid to be myself. I'm too afraid to live. I'm too afraid to find people and make mistakes and embarrass myself to then actually go through a real journey, a real spiritual journey, and not just go fucking sit up with somebody who you ask some dumbass questions and then an actual journey. You have a real embarrassment, real life issues and things to worry about, not just, oh, woe is me because, I signed my whole everything away. Now I don't have any real problems, even though of course I'm just as miserable, if not 1,000 times worse than before. You know, it's oof. So I bring that up to say, still getting there, but to say, we look at those people. We look at these people and go, wow, lights, glitz, and glamour. Ooh. And it's like, but what? Like, you didn't see. Like I brought up the whole thing too. Like, you go through all the stuff and they go, man, I had to do it for my family. I had to do what I needed to do. I had to beat that motherfucker up for this. I had to rob that old lady for that. I had to make my way, man. I had to shoot that one dude. I had to go put this hit on somebody. I had to blah, 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 blah. I had to do all this stuff to whatever, to make it. And then you look back and like, dude, why did I do all that stuff? I wish I would have never did it. I wish I could take it back. I was even watching this one with Al Capone talking about, and like at the end of his life, other than him catching syphilis and all that, and having it pretty much eat his brain and all that stuff in his body, deteriorate him from the inside out, which could have been a factor. Maybe, most likely not, because he set his own mind. But even throughout his life, like, he did all the stuff he did towards the end of it all, which he wasn't even that old. He wanted to just like do cool stuff and like help the community and build buildings and find a way to make more jobs and stuff like that. Like, most of the dudes don't. Like, I even said, I wrote that somewhere. Like, I think it's hilarious that I got teased in high school and all throughout my years of life and things like that. But most of the dudes that I now see that tease me are this, that, and the third. They're raising their children to want to be something like they teased. Like, I want my kid to be a little nerd. I want him to just not do nothing. I don't want to be no gangster in the streets. I don't want him to do nothing violent. I don't want him to do nothing crazy. I just want him to have his education, get his stuff together, figure out his mind, his own thing, do him. I want my child to just figure out and do him and be that weird, quirky little dude. And it's so funny to me. You know what I'm saying? I want him to find his own individuality. I want him to be him. And it's like, dude, you tease dudes for attempting to find themselves and be them. You know what I'm saying? They're out here. You made fun of them. And now you're looking at your past wishing you could be them. Is that why you tease them? It's like, so it's interesting to me how it plays out. Like, the cool kids are still being the cool kids and everything. But we all see the cool kids. We all know who, man, we know. These dudes are miserable. These people are miserable, bro. And that's why I'm coming on here to say something. Like I do all, it's just something I'm doing, I guess. I don't know. But yo, man, these people they miserable as hell. And to look up to these people and make yourself miserable because you think you need to be like them and do like them and figure out they dance moves and they songs and they movies and how line for line, word for word, and you're gonna meet them and get the autographs and try to, like, I get it if you're trying to aspire and things like that, but even then, you should be your own inspiration. You should be the thing to aspire to be. You. And so to look at somebody else, I realize is completely backwards. Like, to even for a second look at someone else as a celebrity and go, yeah, no, that's them. Do something else. Even if it's in the same field, to look at them other than like getting little tidbits here and this, that, or third, but to idolize and be in reverence of them and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're real. You're a person. You were born here on the here, and you lived, and now you're here. It's like, dude, you're here. Like, go find something for you to do, And so, like I said, I find it really interesting. Like I said, it's okay to find certain aspects and certain skills that you want to, like, that makes sense. But to just, want to just, just throw your whole life away for a person you will never meet. And if you did, you wouldn't like them. You wouldn't care for them. It's just, you probably wouldn't even be able to relate to them. You just, you're feeling something, because it speaks to you, because I mean, who else speaks like that most likely, or whatever the case may be, and it reaches you because nobody else talks to you like that person talks to you, or moves like that person moves for you, the way you like them to move. And it's like, yeah, I know, there's just a control thing. It's a ego thing. It's a wanting to be in thing. Finding anything to attach to because you're too afraid to check yourself and learn from yourself and do for you, build for you. But yeah, what else I wrote? Let's see. So yeah, the full insecurities. And like I said, they signed it away when they get, when they gave their mind up. They signed all the ways when they chose to give their mind away. And that's a terrible thing, because people think they're doing drugs, certain drugs, yes, certain things, yeah, because certain things are drugs and certain things aren't drugs. Some things deteriorate your brain. Nobody wants to take on that. Alcohol and pills are one of those things. And some help and heal your brain. Some people don't want to acknowledge what those certain things are. But whatever, it's all good. But I know for a fact, if we won't even go there, that blunt for blunt, joint for joint, bowl for bowl, with a dab for dab, whatever you want it, I guarantee you, if we both, if we both decided, you know what I'm saying, hit for hit, drink for drink, shot for shot, and we continue for as long as we could, I question who comes out on the other side. Mind intact, still can think, have a good thought process, don't feel like the spacey, still can like be coherent, can run a marathon, could like still do whatever they want to do. I challenge, and I mean every day for the rest of your days. I challenge anybody. I bet you wouldn't make it through, and I bet you still wouldn't. I bet you wouldn't be smarter than me. Bet at the end of it. Bet you wouldn't be smarter than me at the end of it all. Shot for shot, blunt for blunt, smoke, or whatever you want to put up. I guarantee, pill for pill. So it's like, but they do what they do. They deteriorate the brains. They do, they live the life they live. And then we think at the end of it all, because like I say, I put that too. I said they only look like they've healed, right? Because the process is what I want to get into too. The process is, it's like you have to, in order to really like, because you got to think about it. You got to be able to talk to people. You got to be able to sit and vibe with yourself. You got to be able to like mingle and do all this stuff, right? You got to be able to have a lot going on for yourself just to be able to get to certain positions and sit in certain seats. You have a lot to process and go through when it comes to shadow work and like I said, embarrassments and trials and tribulations and real ones that fulfill you, instead of cheat coding it, signing a contract, getting yourself into a position to where you didn't have to have a 9 to 5, you didn't need to try to find a way or sacrifice because you didn't want to work a 9 to 5, or whatever the case may be, the way you chose to live the life you wanted to live, to get to a space to where you can somewhat relax yourself, right? Certain people that I'm speaking on don't have that luxury, I'll say, because the amount of stress and things they got to go through on the other end, when they realize that they made the mistake of having to put that cheat code in, is detrimental. They put the cheat code in, they feel good, and they bypass having to do any of the real work that it takes to reach these godlike statuses that we seem to want to strive to achieve. Right? They fall. They fall right below, right? They fall. So it's like they don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have it. And when you look into them, you expect to find it. And you don't find much of nothing except more despair because they don't have it either. Like, to be a celebrity is what I mean. Like a real person that really made it for themselves. Whether you're even just a doctor or whatever the case may be, you're a superstar, whatever. You had to actually go through some things. You had to live a life. You ain't just go through somebody found you, somebody chose you and said, hey, look, we got a whole path for you already carved out. You ain't even got to try. You just got to show up. You just got to be there. Ain't that crazy? It's so easy, dude. It's so easy. It's so easy, dude. You just gotta believe. You just gotta do it, bro. And all your whatever's, man, we'll take care of that. All your greatest desires. Read the Bible. Desires, you know what I'm saying? Because it's about you. Desires, we got that. We got that. You know, I mean, what does that mean? Who cares? Downfalls and what that means. Just, you ain't got to pick up yourself by your bootstraps in certain scenarios and things like that. What does that even mean? You know what I mean? Who cares? And that's the process that people think that, oh, who cares? But in the NBA young boy, he feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Who, just like, give me somebody. But they're feeling it. They know that it was a mistake. That, because people will push agendas. People will make you, like I said, you sign that contract. You are no longer you. You're a puppet now. You're no longer yourself, and you don't get that opportunity. You don't get that privilege. You don't get that right. You don't have it anymore. You don't have that. You don't have a right to be a human being. You're a slave at this point. And it's unfortunate that we idolize slaves. These people don't have their own minds. And it just eats me up that I've seen this for the years I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And these people still just blindly follow these dudes, these women, these people. Like I said, now I'm loving it. Now I'm loving it because people are slowly waking up. They're really seeing it for real, for real. It's just that, there's now these because everybody's waking up. Also, I notice there's these spiritual gatekeepers. And unfortunately, it's now starting to take the spiritual community because people are starting to realize that there's no shortcuts in life. Now you must take the time to go through the woes and all those things to get out to the other side. You must go through this, right? And people are now realizing that. The issue now is that I'm noticing is that the spiritual community is tainted, and it's this fake woke where people are saying love and light, or this, that, and the third, it's just a lot of delusions and whatever things are going on, and people are not in the right headspace to be teaching people, and it's unfortunate. Like I said, I had no desire, let's make that real clear, no desire to want to be on this thing. There's some people that froth at the mouth. They can't wait to let somebody know their problems and whatever they got going on in their life and whatever the case may be, right? They can't wait. They're frothing at the mouth. They can't wait. And I'm not that dude. And I'm making a point to say I had no desire to get on here. When you truly want to do something, there's not really much of a desire. Don't desire, don't look, it'll find you type. You know what I'm saying? It'll be there for you when the time comes. There's no desire for me to want to get on here. Every single time I get on there, it's not like I really truly want to do it. It's just something I noticed that it's necessary. Because not say I don't like being on here in a way that I get to, get my thoughts out. I get to have the feelings. I get to chill. You know what I'm saying? Hit them with the chilling. But to, like, now I'm comfortable, but before it was just like I didn't see a real point to get on here. So, it's no fake. Like, I have a reason, I have a purpose to be on this thing. It's not just for, look at me. Even though apparently deep down inside I have that, thing. But I'm getting off topic. So yeah, that's pretty much that. You know what I'm saying? 25-minute. Yeah, man, that's pretty much that. So I'm not, and I want to put that caveat that it's not. I'm not knocking anyone. I'm not. Celebrities are celebrities and they do what they do. You're doing your thing, and you feeding your family, and that's cool. And that's all I really care about for people is that they're taking care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about nothing else. You taking care of your people. Because, like, I'll even say, like, I know this, like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain situations, I feel bad when people go through things. But when they're adults, it's like, but when they're children, it's like, oh. It hurts. It hurts. I'm being playful, but it really does eat me up. It hurts a lot. But yeah, it's serious. When I know it's about children, it's a whole nother ball game. And so I like I said, I do it for, what I'm saying. I don't want to necessarily reach the kids like that because all the things that y'all see I'm doing and how I talk. But man, I don't know if I really live for anything else, man. These kids out here, everything, bro. And these people that are raising them, I'm on your ass. But yeah, man. I just like to chill, and I like to teach and do all that stuff. So that's what I'll be doing. Stop looking up to these people, man. They ain't shit. And choose yourself. Choose yourself.